Welcome to the soccer complex at Daytona State College. It is great to have you with us, everybody, as the Falcons of Daytona State get ready for NJCAA action on the pitch as they host the Broward Seahawks. Drew Felios alongside Ted Sofianos. And we're thrilled to have you along for the ride. Ted, should be fun. Broward taking on Daytona State here tonight.
Hey, we finally got a tester here for the Falcons, right? Eketebi, coach of the Seahawks, only played one game so far. Drew, this should be something of a litmus test for both Daytona and Eketebi with the Seahawks.
Just about to get started. Coach Eketebi leading Broward here to Daytona State, where the Falcons have been absolutely dominant so far to start the 2019 campaign. Coach Eketebi with a largely international roster. And on the other side for Daytona State, Bart Sasnett. This will be a great litmus test for how good his team actually is. Coach Sasnett says we have not gotten the stiff competition we expected to start the season. He scored 31 goals.
Just ready to get underway here, Drew. Excited. First televised game we have here at the new soccer complex, although it doesn't seem that way, Drew, but it's already 3 years old, this beautiful, still brand new complex.
Underway from Daytona State, Kevin Faraz sends it back. Broward will wear the gray uniforms here tonight. Daytona State Falcons in the friendly all royal blue. Falcons averaging 6 goals per contest, also 32 shots per game. The scoring so far, Ted, has been off the charts.
Yeah, they've been an offensive machine. But again, we were talking about whether or not they've been tested thus far. Certainly have had some good games. Bart Sasnett, coach for the Falcons, likes what he sees thus far. He was dealing with some unknowns. He only had 3 returning starters, Drew. 3 returning starters, and that would be Molina, Grant, and Senor.
Great crowd on hand tonight. Also some scouts on hand, watching all the great talent competing here from both of these colleges, Daytona State and Broward. This one will be sent down. Angel Lamardo wearing number 10 for Daytona State. Falcons trying to play over the top here to start.
Yeah, I know that we both had a conversation recently with Coach Sasnett, and one of the awesome stats that he had provided to me was the matriculation percentage rate of his gang, his graduates going on to their junior years in really healthy soccer-producing colleges and universities throughout the nation.
Daytona State in only their 4th season of competition certainly made a name for themselves on the state scene And on the national scene, hosting, of course, the national championships last year, reputation for the Falcons just continues to soar, and you will notice that with the talent level that Coach Sasnet is putting on the pitch. Here is Fabian Grant, the sophomore midfielder, getting it ahead. Anthony Ore cutting it down for Broward. Molina also flying through, and Fabian Grant touching again for the Falcons.
You know, that could have easily been a high boot there for Molina coming in with his spikes up, but got away with it there. Referee let that play through.
Falcons once again trying to play over the top. Lamardo watches it sail over his head. Daytona State maybe working a little bit too quick here in the opening minutes. And as far as the Falcons are concerned, you know, last year they had the superstar Craigton Charlton. He's going to be tough to replace, Ted. But they feel they've got the talent and the depth. This team could be even better than last year.
It very well could be, because as you look at the goals, as far as their offensive juggernaut that they've displayed thus far, I mean, they've basically have 7 guys right now with 3 goals or more in their roster. That's amazing. That's an amazing step. But again, you know, we're talking about being tested, and I think today with Broward and, you know, Eketebe's crew, this is going to be a tough matchup.
Yeah, the top scorer, Dujan Martin, will come off the bench tonight for Daytona State.
Oh, what a bright spot he's been thus far.
5 goals for Martin. There's a collision right there at the midfield line, and the ball will belong to Daytona State. Just underway here at Daytona State College. First competition on WDSC TV. I'm excited to be here once again. I know you're excited, Ted. Our great crew in position working all day long, and this is just going to be a fun night. Francesco Taranova is the lead official here tonight.
And that's matched up by Quisenberry and Osterhaus.
And what a big week of soccer we have got for you. Men's game tonight, women's game tomorrow night, and then the big showdown with Eastern Florida. And a Friday night primetime battle. Here's Yamamoto with the steal, and Broward now works. And Broward will send it across the end line, and both of these teams, that's where this game could be won or lost, the midfield.
You see how quick Fonseca there was. He tried to do a quick pirouette turn type of turn around to beat the defender. Just forgot the ball on that one, but he's a very talented and skilled player. Look for, more for him to come later in this game. Dangerous there in the back with the right back there. They've also got some size on Eketebe's team. The Falcons match up, of course, very well, but you start to look at basically height and weight, and Eketebe's got some big young men playing for him.
That was a spectacular slide by Molina as he wins possession back for Daytona State. And the ball played once again all the way down the pitch. Falcons have got to just slow things down just a bit, try and possess a little more.
No, exactly. Good comment, Drew. They're playing just a little bit too fast, perhaps just a little bit nervous. This is probably going to be their first big test of the season.
Try and get it in the box. That one cut off. That's Colleen Jean, freshman out of Homestead, winning possession back for Daytona State. Santiago Fonseca, also part of the 11 tonight. A midfielder out of Canada. Throughout the broadcast, we're going to be introducing you to some of the new Daytona State players. Let's take a look, though, at this tackle. It was executed absolutely perfectly by Molina. Wow.
That's a beautiful slide. Boots down. No foul. Clean. Good job. Good job by Molina there.
Simply cannot do it much better than that. Sergio Hales out of Spain. He's a sophomore and one of the 4 returning starters for Daytona State. So 4 of the 11 old faces returning from last year.
Right, which, I was talking to Coach Sazin. He was saying it'd be a little bit tough, but those 4 returning players that you just mentioned, and 3 of them being starters, have helped to set the tone, have helped them, so to speak, with the ropes, getting them into the drills, showing them the Sazanet way, who is a true disciplinarian, and he always puts scholastics first.
Now it's Molina. It's one thing that the coaches remind the players of every day here at Daytona State. Athletics, just a small part of your life. It starts in the classroom. And everything you do there, all the hard work you put in there, trickles down to everything else.
They're going to catch him there on a boot to the back of the Achilles. That's a little painful.
So a player going down for Broward. That's Juan Pedro Sainz Racines, freshman out of Uruguay. And he'll get up. And a free kick coming up for the Seahawks out of Broward.
Son, a bit of a factor. You might have seen Nalis, John Nalis, try to head a ball back, and you could see the sun was in his eyes. Right now he's stalking the ball, ready for the free kick.
Staring right into the sun. Here it comes. Ball line driven, and it skates across the pitch. Daytona State will once again win possession. This is number 13, Colleen Jean, who has got some kind of pace, as you can see. Again, that young energy is just showing here in the opening 15 minutes.
You got to like it, but, just keep the engine warm. Don't want to run it hot right now. Right now, I think both teams trying to feel each other out. Minimal offensive threat demonstrated by either team. And even though, Daytona State being 5-0, they truly haven't been tested quite a bit. Ergo, the 31 goals they have in favor. And certainly with just one game behind them, it's almost an X factor as far as Eketebe's group.
Now it's Molina. Send it down the pitch. Ball one back and flick back. Oh, nicely done. Great idea from Angel Lamardo. And now played out of the center circle by the Broward Seahawks. Broward chipping it ahead. And now Juan Pedro comes back. Contact made right there. And this ball will belong to Broward. You see bodies flying around the pitch here in the opening minutes.
Referee blew that on Senior. The only reason it was called is Senior was just a little bit late on that 50-50.
Kevion Ferranz puts it into the box. Heads right into the middle. Falcons will immediately clear it and send it out of bounds.
To the cemetery, unfortunately, across the road there.
Sure, eventually somebody will go fetch it. Certainly not going to be me.
No, me neither. Especially not in a night game.
Broward now pressed against the touchline. Will put this one in motion. Colleen Jean with the header, sending it back. And now this is Yamamoto. And Broward possessing once again. Intercepted out of the center circle. Here comes Daytona State. This is Esteban Carmona.
Carmona, if he saw himself on the replay there, he'd kick himself. He had the left wing flying through onside. I believe that was Nalis who should have taken that pass.
Well, one thing we can't say, players are not waiting until the 60th minute to kick it into overdrive. They're playing this game at a blistering pace right from the start. Here's Senior now putting in motion. Nice chip ahead inside the box. Falcons trying to get a shot off. This is Fonseca trying to go far post. And the ball just to the left for the Falcons. A great idea there.
Two very dangerous offensive attacks there within the last 60 seconds. So here's a replay. Look at that. Look at that bender. Look at that bender from the left foot. Gorgeous attempt. He was probably about 15 yards out there.
Santiago Fonseca, tremendous talent. He is an exceptional attacker. Coach Sasnett pointed out his talents. 3 goals already this season for the young man out of Canada and Mother Teresa Catholic Secondary School. Great impact he has had already on this Daytona State soccer program. Tell you what, you watch some of this young talent fly around, and that's why Coach Saznet is so excited about this group. He has done a lot of coaching, though, trying to get these young men to play Falcon soccer the way it is supposed to be played. And now you're starting to see some of the connections.
You know, although Coach Saznet said he did have, of course, some standouts, some return players, he said it's the entire unit, the collaboration of them, both in their practice times, on the field, off the field, that have really seemed to gel. And not so much to his surprise, but, you know, you never know the persona of a team until they get together, until they start breaking bread at lunch, getting involved in those various drills and helping each other.
Broward on the quick counter, and contact going to be called there. So free kick going to be granted. And again, Juan Pedro Sainz Racines drawing that contact. You can tell from the opening minutes, this is going to be the guy who's constantly trying to draw fouls and yellow cards against the Falcons.
Luckily, that was not, you know, a really harmful foul to him. This was looking about 30 yards out, somewhat dangerous. Not at a good angle, though. You'd probably want that coming from the corner. And it's most likely an indirect kick. Terranova, the referee, drawing the line there. That's been a new thing that they've established in the last 5 years for the referees, to have a can of spray paint back them up 10 yards from the free kick.
Now it's Faraz, left-footed. He'll swing it in front of the 6-yard box. Ball sent back, and now the Falcons can once again counter themselves. Daytona State working here as we approach 30 minutes in the first half. A little frustrated on that attempt. Thought there was a foul. Whistle was not called, though. And now Daytona State will try and work. And we're seeing a good battle here. Both teams trying to sort of exert their will here in the first part of this first half.
I can see why, though, in two cases here, the Falcons are a little frustrated. They've been smacked in the back of the heels and pushed around from behind, and that certainly will, you know, attribute to losing the ball, as Daytona State just did. So that's why they've been yelling about it, but Terranova's not seeing it. He's not agreeing with the Falcon players at all.
Mohamed Awad over to Yamamoto. Yamamoto's been active here thus far in this first half, and now Fonseca for Daytona State. No teams have made changes just yet. Expected to come, though, momentarily. Lamardo shakes free. He'll try and cross this one. Ball serviced to the end of the 6, and a head on it by the Falcons, eventually gathered by Broward's keeper.
Daytona State has to be happy right now with the offensive tries that they've had. Certainly more dangerous right now than the Seahawks.
Broward working once again. Keep in mind, when you're Daytona State, you average 32 shots per game. That is why Daytona State is trying to play so up-tempo. They're just not used to having to really possess for an entire 90. They may have to do it several times here tonight.
And in those 5 games, a 6.2 per goals per game average, not too shabby. And they're 7th in the nation in assists as well. They have a lot of top 10s throughout the nation, ergo they are listed as 11th nationally right now. If they win this game, very easily will move up into the top 10.
Very impressive stuff so far coming out of Daytona State College. Coach Saznet recruited his tail off in the offseason and was so busy trying to get the right mix of young men into this program. He said, I think we got just about every guy who we were after. That's great news for Daytona State moving forward. There is that time where the program just recruits itself Now Broward on the attack. Esparza setting goal, and immediately that back line closing in to shut down the run by Racines. Broward once again trying to get a service in. Good defending on that far side, though, and this is going to be picked up by Esparza.
Really well done there. Excellent job of closing him down. First closing down the Seahawk offenseman, and now a second time after a deflection, cutting off the right wing rather.
Santiago Esparza right there, sophomore goalkeeper, just a great kid. Team captain this year for Daytona State. His leadership is going to be huge moving forward for the Falcons. Daytona State trying to get into that final third here. Fonseca now comes over on the near side. He'll hold it up in the corner. And now the Falcons will take their time. This is Nollis, John Nollis, sophomore out of Delray Beach. Nollis now trying to get it in position, marked very tightly though, as Broward defensively gets set.
I know, Drew, we have some mics and cameras set outside there. I don't know if the fans listening on WDSC TV can hear how much they're communicating to each other. Basically screaming things like man on or turn. Doing a great job thus far at communicating.
Scoreless here in Daytona Beach. The Falcons and the Seahawks on WDSC TV. Drew Felios with Ted Sofianos as Daytona State trying to get this one in position. Fabian Grant now has it at his feet, and he'll send it over to Colleen Jean. Jean, the right back, a great story for the Falcons. We'll tell you about it momentarily. Now this is Grant switching the point of attack. Daytona State will take a long blast from distance, and it sails over the crossbar.
That was a little bit ill-advised there. While he had Lamardo over there on the left wing, just sitting there open, waiting. But again, you got to communicate. You got to yell him down.
There's Senor, 5 assists on the season. The Jamaican doing a great job for Daytona State, another returning starter.
Excellent, yes. And it's those 4 that have been showing the ropes to the rest of the team. Discipline, scholastic behavior inside the classroom and studying outside of it. And of course, your regular day-to-day drills, listening and heeding to what the coach says in those practice sessions. Your 3-on-3 drills, 3v1s. Man on and through ball drills.
Coming up on 25 minutes to play in this first half. This is Afrika Kuda. He'll switch the point of attack. Ball sent on, and that's the first shot on Esparza that was, in fact, on frame. Easy pickings for Santiago, as Sergio Medina had a great idea.
Yeah, Medina really did have a great idea. That's why I was a little bit upset with himself. He wanted to give it a little bit more gas on that shot because Esparza was just a little bit forward and out of position. So good thought there by Medina.
Falcons able to gather it now, momentarily at least. Could not control it. Broward able to send it right down. Here's that counter again. Medina beating everybody down the pitch. Now hesitating, and he'll have it poked away by Jean.
Good job by Jean there. Dangerous player there with the ball in possession. And what a gorgeous through ball to him, to Medina. I mean, gorgeous through ball.
Yamamoto pressed against that touch line. And now it's Jean. Jean turning around, whipping it around. And seeing a pretty good battle here. Back and forth, seesaw. Been a little physical as well. Broward now sharing it. Anthony Ore, sophomore out of Miami, controlling for the visitors.
Ooh.
Yamamoto going down hard. This could be the first discipline of the night as Fonseca came up with the tackle. Let's see if this is a yellow, and I don't think it will be.
Oh, the ref's going to let him go on that one a little bit.
A little lucky there,
yeah,
Ted?
Yeah, I think so. But also, it was who got fouled, Drew? Who was the one that got fouled just now?
That was Medina.
Medina, right. And, Medina slowed down just a little bit. Here it is in the – oh!
Ball is curling, service perfectly right in the middle of the box, and they just could not make good contact on it that time.
Yeah, I think the refs saw that Medina had slowed down a little bit, and his willingness was shown there to take the foul. Knew it was kind of coming. And with that type of anticipation, the ref, I think, let that one go. Here it is to play in the middle.
It's great placement by Faraz that time. And you saw Mohamed Awad, the player who is 6'5". Anytime you got a player of that size, just get it in his zip code.
That's right.
Near handball by Afrika Kuda will play on, though.
Tell you that the game has been fast-paced. This has got to be enjoyable from your couches at home, folks. Been going back and forth over the midi line. They say, okay, there was not enough goals in soccer, but, watching the talent here and the skill level has truly been enjoyable thus far.
Yeah, there he is, Mohamed Awad, sophomore out of Algeria, 6'5", 190 pounds, as athletic as can be. And when you got a guy like that, you can mark him as tight as you want, but when he outweighs and outsizes everybody, he can certainly be tough to deal with.
Exact, special in the air. That is a challenge right there, keeping his head off the ball on these crosses.
Set piece is going to be an adventure tonight. Falcons coming over to that one, and now Saints Racines trying to get it centered. And let's see, the ball will belong to Daytona State. So over the last few possessions, Broward has had some pretty nice placement.
Yeah, Broward certainly coming alive offensively here. Enjoyable to watch both teams right now, though.
Falcons on the far side. Long service. Fonseca tracking it down. Inside the box now, cleared immediately as Broward did not want to take any chances with that one.
I like Fonseca's idea, though. Well done.
84 degrees tonight here at Daytona State College. Times today has felt like it has been in the 90s. In fact, it has been certain parts of the day, but it has cooled off over the last couple hours here, 6:30 Eastern time zone here at Daytona State College. And we'll have another foul that will belong to the Falcons. Good show of sportsmanship there.
Yeah, Uwad, big body on the young man there, and just knocked down the DSC player with just one quick step. And here's the replay. Ooh. Thigh right into the back. But it looks like everybody's all right. We're going to look at an outswinger here.
Set piece for Daytona State. This is Nollis. Nollis tried to whip it around that time, unsuccessful. So Broward will have it once again. There's John Nollis, 2 goals on the season out of Atlantic High School in nearby Delray Beach.
And I think we've seen the percentage of play occurring in the defensive end of the Seahawks, but still we've seen some great chances and some great offense from Broward.
Daytona State tonight wants to be a club that possesses, of course. They also want to play direct at times. They have played very direct in this first half. See, though, Falcons are as athletic and as deep as they have ever been. This could be the best team that Coach Sasson has fielded in his 4 years on the east coast of Florida. Ball alive in the box, picked up immediately.
Oh, that was a bit of a lazy header. Had Lamardo been anticipating, he might have been able to run that down.
Under 20 minutes now. Senor sending it back to Prince Wabudike. Esparza out of Land O'Lakes, Sun Lake High School represented for Daytona State. About to have our first substitute of the contest as Gabriel Ortiz gets loose for Broward. Seahawks will win it and immediately attack. Little 1-2 set up. Daytona State won't take any chances. Nate Thompson hammers it out of bounds. And now that substitute's going to enter the game for Broward. Should see many substitutes here tonight. And this is going to be Ortiz, sophomore out of Fort Lauderdale, seeing his first action.
Also seeing the Falcons end there. They got a couple of young men warming up. Coach Sasnet's bringing somebody right now to the midline.
Ball serviced in, middle of the box, immediately. Falcons on top of it. Another service. Oh, the ball loose just for a moment. Esparza takes care of it quickly for the Falcons. Now, when a game is played at this pace, you got to wonder how long can these kids go before they are substituted, especially in these humid conditions. Ball is put into the center, and there is a great play by the Seahawks, able to recover it.
How's that end-to-end, huh? End-to-end right there, and in a matter of 30 seconds, you don't usually get a chance to see that much offense end-to-end in that amount of time. Good job by both teams.
So Dujon Martin getting ready to enter the game for Daytona State. This is the player we told you about in a reserve role here tonight. Only a freshman, one of the new faces of the Falcons program out of Canada. There's Dujon out of the Vaughan Secondary School. 5 goals on the season. He's the lead scorer so far for Daytona State. Just finding ways to score, finding ways to get in gaps. His maturity has absolutely blown Coach Sasnet away.
Coach Sasnet, he mentioned him yesterday when we were talking a little bit about just the entire team. But again, not really so many standouts, but how well they are gelling together as a unit, as a cohesive unit, is what he mentioned. You know, what would you rather have if you're a coach? Would you have like 3 great players and the rest so-so, or certainly B+, like 15 B+, scholar athletes on your roster? I'll take the 15 B+ scholar athletes.
Got that ability to just finish plays. This great game of football that is so key. Can you put the ball in the back of the net? Can you finish consistently? He has shown he could do just that.
Well, I got to say the conditions shouldn't have a problem doing that. Oh, referee did call a foul on that one. I thought it was a little aggressive by the Seahawk player, and the referee on the sideline did pick that up. Well done for the Falcons. Here we're going to be looking at another left-footed kick. It will be an outswinger. Bending away from the goalie.
Ball is blasted onto the end line. That's a great effort on that far
Nice
side.
try.
I'll tell you what. That was that was Prince Wabudike who got airborne that time.
Wabudike also a bit of size. I could see Wabudike being the defender marking Uwad.
That's why I just figure he's part of the back line. You don't think you're going to see your defenders do this. Get airborne along the end line and fly out of bounds on the other side. That's how active and athletic this Falcons team is.
Wabudike saying, good job. Well done.
Another substitute made for Broward. So Broward now starting to go to their bench. Coach Ekatebi wants to make sure they're fresh. And Santiago Amerian, sophomore out of Argentina, checking in. I'll tell you what, I've prepared for these names tonight. As international a contest as we have ever had here on DSC TV.
Yeah, I do, Drew. I had to practice them 5 times over before I came on air with you today. Oh, that's great work. Great work there by Fonseca. Just beautiful.
Great battle in the midfield. Fabian Grant trying to win it. And Daytona State will throw it in.
How about the skill level there right along the tightrope? Tightrope in that out-of-bounds line right in front of us. Gorgeous skills being displayed.
Ball once again in the box. Loose for a moment. Just kind of hanging there. And now a shot taken from distance. It was up in the air and was for the taking. And that was Juan Esteban Carmona trying to straighten it out.
I like the idea, Carmona. Goalie was off his line. Tough shot. Tough shots, of course, to keep down, but the right idea.
Juan Esteban Carmona, he is quite an attacker. 3 goals and 5 assists. His ability to distribute so far has really impressed the coaches. He's out of a Popco, one of the local players, Sheeler High School represent. It's one thing to be able to get players all over the world, but you've got to continue to build out of your Florida talent bases, and that's what the Falcons are doing.
You know, we were talking a while ago about the national talent versus the international talent. I wonder where Eketebi's going to recruit basically more than 70% of his starting players from overseas, from Poland, Jamaica, Uruguay, Colombia, Brazil, France, Jamaica. A lot of players from all over the world.
Looked like near handball there, but we will play on. Great hustle by Chandel Senior. And now Jean and the Falcons with Molina, who lost it. Little out of control that time. And Broward opens it up for the counter. Afrika Kuda goes left with it. Medina, contact right there in the box. No call. Easily could have been a PK. The Falcons possibly getting away with a break there.
I think the reason the referee let that play, Drew, it was front to front, ankle to ankle, 50 to 50, even though he slid. It looked ugly. Here it is again. Unfortunately, he didn't catch a lot of the ball, so you're right about that on that replay. Thank you. Thank you for that replay, gang. Good job.
Medina is up. Looks like he is okay, shaking off the effects of that last collision. Esparza takes it out of the air. And now coming up on 11 minutes to play here in half number 1. Keep in mind, Daytona State averaging 6 goals per game, 32 shots in all per contest. So a little bit of a different situation here, scoreless at this point of the game. How will each team adjust moving forward and adjusting to the talent across on the other side?
Yeah, we've seen some great offensive-minded plays on both sides, but we haven't seen a lot of on-goal shots. Seen the goalies being able to foil a number of them. Here's one.
Played inside the box, shuffled ahead, contact once again right there. And again, the official lets them play on. That easily could have been a PK for Daytona State.
That easily could have been. I didn't see why the referee let that play on. But, you got apples to apples, I guess, on both ends. Here it is again.
Well, I think it was pretty clean.
Yeah, he got the ball first.
Yep.
It was Anthony Ore, that got the ball first.
So it will be a corner kick for the Falcons, and we'll have an outswinger here. This is Juan Esteban Carmona, who's been active so far.
Right now, the wind, a little bit of a factor, blowing from north to south. South being at the Seahawks defensive end.
Nollis will leave it, calling Jean. Will toss it in. Jean, the right back, here tonight for the Falcons. Under 10 minutes now left to play in this first half. Daytona State 5-0 to start this 2019 season. There's a great story. Colleen Jean, the freshman out of Homestead. This right back, Ted, let me tell you his story. He was not offered a scholarship when he first arrived on campus here at Daytona State. He had to pay his own way, said, I'm going to earn it the hard way. He has done just that, just offered a scholarship now, a full ride here to Daytona State College, and he is starring it right back now for the Falcons. So how about that, saying, I want to be a part of this program, and he's doing a great job contributing.
And how about that for some self-confidence and also a self-esteem builder there to get the scholarship.
Send this one to the box, and live, and shot just left. See, coming down with it, it was incredible that Nollis was able to get a shot off on the ground. That time could not put it on frame, though, and a player is shaken up as a result.
Can't see what happened there. Don't know who's down. Timeout calls the referee at 8:51 to play.
It looks like Krishawn Wiggin, the freshman out of Jamaica, right now on the ground. We'll take one more look here. Just may have come down wrong that time. See if it was possibly the forearm or the wrist that he landed on awkwardly.
Yeah, it looks like Wiggin, number 3 from Manchester, Jamaica. He came down rather hard on that right side of the pelvis there. Could have had the wind knocked out of him. At any rate, gives the each team a chance to take a drink of water.
Let's take one more look. Great camera crew we have here on hand tonight. And a good look there. You saw him go down right there. It looks like that elbow just got caught up that time as he was coming down.
Yeah, that was a nasty fall. His feet upended from him as he jumped. And he's holding his right side where he came down. Arms look okay. Looks like it's right above the back of the hip there.
Also, that tailbone, when you come down as hard as he came down, these players sacrifice their bodies, don't they, when they get airborne like that on those set pieces?
Well, you got 2 or 3, 4 guys in that particular case jumping up in the air, flying through the air, and, it's very easy to get knocked off your balance and come down the way he did. Looks like he's going to be okay. He's going to have a nice bruise tomorrow morning when he wakes up with the ice pack.
But good to see Krishawn Wiggin. Looks like he is okay. Mikhail Gorsicevic in goal. Young man out of Poland who is a sophomore for Broward. Doing a good job so far. He's faced a pretty nice onslaught from the Falcons.
Looks like we're going to start it up here again. Perhaps the larger percentage of the ball being in the defensive end of the Seahawks.
Seen a very exciting first half up to this point. Hope you've enjoyed it. Lots more soccer here to come and a very special halftime show coming your way. At intermission, have a one-on-one, a special interview with Bart Sasnett, the head coach of Daytona State. He's got a lot to say about the state of the program, where it's going, the young men that are representing the Falcons on the pitch this year, and so many great things we have to look forward to throughout the course of the season.
You were mentioning that great feature story on Colleen Jean. Another one that Coach Sasnett remarked about yesterday was Nate Thompson. He was telling me about what a utilitarian he is. He used to be an offensive-minded player. Now he's got him in the back. Comes the cross harmlessly across.
Well tripped up that time. Falcons will keep it. Juan Esteban Carmona again, forcing the issue for Daytona State. He was marked tightly by Martins, the sophomore out of Brazil.
And going back to Nate Thompson, so I said to him, so you can put him anywhere. He said he is absolutely fits into any role, center back, forward. Right now he's at left back. I said, so this guy's like a Swiss Army knife, this young man.
Yeah, he is. Without question. Now it's Jean. Up-tempo play continues for Daytona State.
I love that. Amirian right there. I mean, he's running everything down.
Headed back is Sparza once again for the Falcons. Daytona State got their toughest test against Morton College to start the season in a 5-1 victory. Unfortunately, they had a few games canceled. Something by the name of Hurricane Dorian.
Right.
I'm sure you heard about that, Ted, at some point, huh?
Yeah. Hurricane Dorian did a good job taking my back out with a couple of things I was trying to mine before the storm came, and luckily it was just a fish storm for the most part.
Yeah, scary times it was here in Daytona just a little over a couple weeks ago. Could have been much worse. Wiped a couple games off the schedule for Daytona State, only a small price to pay as opposed to some of the other things that the Storm inflicted. But
Yeah.
Daytona State not having those 2 games definitely hurt as far as an overall schedule standpoint was concerned. In the box now, Falcons will go to work right in front of the 6, try and cross it over. The goalie on the move. Daytona State will send it across now and possess right back. Here's Grant. Looked like a possible handball that time again. And I'll tell you what, they are letting the players play here tonight.
Yeah, that was a tough one to call a handball, even though we pretty much saw it go right off his elbow. You know, you're mentioning about the Storm, certainly where these guys, the Seahawks, come from down in Brevard. They dealt with some pretty severe beach erosion, as I had watched on the news. So hope that they were able to get their beaches back up and ready for those who live there and, of course, the tourists who are coming down. Beautiful part of the state where the Seahawks are from.
Broward will push it ahead once more. Broward trying to counter, and there's a nice bit of contact there as we play on, and Seahawks will have a corner kick here with just under 5 minutes to play in half number 1.
You see what Amirian did there? He anticipated that from Wabudike, and he slammed into him shoulder to shoulder, which is totally legal, but great anticipation and basically pushing the bigger player out. Boy, he's pesky.
In swing now. Sergio Molina sends it out of bounds into the stands. Broward should throw it in here. Or will they award it to Daytona State? I think they will.
Yeah.
Sergio Molina, though, involved to say the least. Young man out of Spain. He's a sophomore and one of the returning starters for the Falcons.
Nice display of sportsmanship by Uwad. Put his arm around him and said, yeah, I caught you. Caught you in a bad way, but luckily everybody's okay, no injuries.
Those games that I was talking about that were taken off the schedule, they were up in Georgia. One was Lewisburg. The other was Georgia Military. 2 very, very outstanding programs there that would have certainly gotten Daytona State a little bit more seasoned heading in to the grunt of their schedule. But still, Coach Saznet feels like his team is going to fare pretty well. But tonight, really, that first big test, we're seeing this team make adjustments right here on the fly.
I'm really impressed right now with, Brevard only having like 1 game, underneath them, and they're showing some really good teamwork, some good communication skills, some nicely designed set pieces. Coach Akatevi's got to be pleased thus far for only having 1 game, past them.
Santiago Fonseca will be the in-swinger here. Daytona State. Oh, would a goal be nice before halftime. Send it far side. Brief contact, and now Broward racing out once again. This has been a battle of speed and attrition thus far. Seahawks. Nate Thompson trying to run this one down.
Over here. No, John, go! Go!
Falcons trying to turn once more. And now, perhaps only a few chances remain until halftime. Daytona State starting to get a little bit more space opening up here as this game has gone along. Opportunities starting to become a little bit more abundant. Flicked up in the air by Fonseca. Comes down to Nollis. Here's Nollis. Slides it right. Grant tried to whip it around, and the ball fouled on by Gorsicheric for Broward.
That's a great pronunciation of the Polish name there. Good job, Drew. I was just going to say his first name, Mikal.
Once again, stay tuned. Halftime festivities coming up. Special interview with Bart Sasnett. Get to know him a little bit better. Tremendous growth going on here with Daytona State Athletics. Coach Sasnett right in the middle of it with this soccer program. It's a great facility, among the best in the country. 3 years old now, Ted, as you said, and what a facility it has been. This press box, big time.
And guess where the women's nationals for the NJCAA tourney will be? In 2021, right here.
Absolutely. Great crowd on hand you're seeing as the final seconds wind down in this first half. Daytona State College and Broward have gone head-to-head for 45 minutes. No goals scored, but lots of chances and opportunities, and both teams having their moments after the first 45 minutes.
Oh, very enjoyable to watch them dueling like this. Certainly very evenly matched thus far, with Daytona State perhaps the slight edge as far as scoring opportunities are concerned.
Sergio Medina coming off, and you see the players greeted. Wabudike pushing it for Daytona State. And Coach Munga Ekatebi and Broward see what their plan is going to be for the second half moving forward. All right, we told you about Daytona State Soccer and head coach Bart Sasnett, the direction of the program for 2019 and beyond.
My experience in college, I played at a junior college. And I also started off as an assistant coach at a junior college. So it's one of those things you really have to wrap your mind around, that you're dealing with 18, 19, 20-year-olds. So we don't have the benefit of having juniors or seniors. So you're basically preparing them for life right from the get-go. A lot of people say you always, you bring in players and you lose them so fast, you don't get them for 4 years. But in some cases, we're okay with that because we want to rebuild and try and regroup and bring a new group in. But in some years, it's so difficult because you have so many players that you essentially know that, you know, they're fantastic players, they're fantastic people. You hate to lose them, but you know you only got them for 2 years, so it's bittersweet. We lost 8 starters from the year before, so we have 3 returning starters this year. And really, really excited with one of our freshmen that have come in, a local player who has exceeded my expectations. His name is Nate Thompson, and he played at Seabreeze High School. He has been an outstanding joy to coach and be around, and you know we're really looking for big things out of him this year. The expectations are always high, so you don't have an excuse not to succeed. We set the Golden Seal standard for all of junior colleges in the country, and there's no question about it. I'm very proud of our soccer program. We've had, for men's programs in the state of Florida, we have the last 2 years been above a 3.0 GPA, got multiple academic All-Americans, and for me that's a first, you know, in my career. So I've really bought into, you know, what I call the Falcon way of academics, and it's transpired over to us getting more players placed at four-year schools for not just their athletic ability, but for their academic ability. So I've really bought into that because it's something that if you don't buy into it 100% and realize that the only reason why we have this soccer program or any program at Daytona State is because of our academics. We've been in the community. We've done so much at the different local soccer parks. We've worked for Habitat Humanity. We've done Fridays in the park in Port Orange, helping out in the community. It's been really great. I have no doubt in my mind that it's helping these young men become better people by helping them in the community and giving back. And you know, after all, essentially back in the day, all the two-year schools were called community colleges, and this is our community. Volusia and Flagler County is, so we want to make sure we give back. This group is such a great group, and they work so hard. We're all learning. We're all learning each other, and like I said, it's a young group. This is going to take some time. October, we're going to be where we need to be, though. I guarantee you that. The vision of Dr. Labasso and Mr. Dunn and Dr. Labasso were imperative in the success of us getting all of this wonderful facility and these wonderful resources, like having cameras, during games and stuff, and news coverage and stuff like that. So I'm sure it's an amazing experience for these young guys, and I think it's all the hard work they've put in. But the vision of Daytona State is just it surpasses most junior colleges, any that I know of, without question. So it's a fun time. It's fun to go to work. It's fun to show up and be in an amazing facility. It's fun to see kids enjoy it. That's what it was built for. It was built for players. I always tell people everything you see is nice, but it was built for our students. So I love that they get that experience.
It's time to express yourself. You're busy this summer. We get it. At Daytona State College, we know a thing or two about how to help you stay on track. Our 7-week express courses start October 17th, so you still have time to get started. Lock in your financial aid today and go to daytonastate.edu/apply or call 386-506-4DSC. What are you waiting for? It's time to express yourself.
Immerse yourself in a wide range of cultural programs at Daytona State College's News Journal Center, home to some of the area's finest theatrical productions, including top-quality musical and stage performances by our own students. Productions are held throughout the year, including concerts, plays, instrumental music, and vocal ensembles. Plus, the Gary R. Libby Gallery features exhibitions of photography, paintings, drawings, and ceramics. Find out more at daytonastate.edu/thearts.
It's time to claim your career. At Daytona State College, our new Database Technology Associate degree positions students for high-paying jobs managing databases to drive business strategies. Plus, our Engineering Technology Associate degree includes a new specialization in additive manufacturing. That's 3D printing, a rapidly expanding technology. Prepare for a new career or advance where you work now. Call 386-506-4DSC or visit us online at daytonastate.edu.
The Daytona State College of Education is forever grateful to Volusia and Flagler County Schools and our collaborative partnership that allows us to spend this exciting time out in the field working with these wonderful students, doing one-on-one reading instruction 4 days a week.
Daytona State has definitely prepared me for being a teacher with all the fieldwork that we've been able to experience through the program, as well as the support and help from all of our wonderful professors. And being able to work one-on-one with the students has been a wonderful opportunity to experience that already before I get placed in my senior internship.
So today, we're going to learn about something that I think is really fascinating. We're going to be learning about weather balloons.
In the IMES lab, we have state-of-the-art equipment that help us further our research.
We are going to be surveying these seagrass beds here at Oak Hills and looking at how they're changing over time.
I love doing this, coming out into the field and actually getting my hands dirty. And
you get to do everything you've ever wanted to do in a marine biology program. You get to go out into the field and actually do the work.
We are truly building a program here for students that are interested in conducting undergraduate research. It's a rather rigorous program for a two-year college.
I'm going out and studying horseshoe crab populations and seeing where their nesting sites are and how often they nest where they are.
The professors motivate us, they inspire us to continue our research and to better ourselves in the scientific community.
This is much better than sitting in a classroom just looking at pictures and listening to people talk. We get to actually feel and see the plants in their natural habitat.
I love this class. I love everything about it, the learning of the names of the flowers. Now it's like putting a name with a face.
Thinking about college? Direct Connect at Daytona State College can put you on the fast track to UCF. Through Direct Connect, DSC and UCF will guide you from your freshman year at DSC through your senior year at UCF, leading you on a path toward success. In fact, when you earn your AA at DSC, you are guaranteed admission as a junior to any Florida public university. Find out more at daytonastate.edu or call 386-506-4DSC.
It's time to claim your career. Daytona State's newest certificate program in hospitality beverage science combines theory and practical hands-on instruction on a range of beverage production processes like craft brewing and wines. Learn how to pair wines and beer with appropriate food choices, produce various styles of beers and wines, as well as how to manage, merchandise, and market beverages. Call 386-506-4DSC or visit us online at daytonastate.edu.
It is a beautiful night here at Daytona State College. You're looking at the Daytona State Soccer Complex on this gorgeous Tuesday night. Scoreless at halftime through the first 45 minutes. Drew Pelios with Ted Sofianos and our fabulous crew from WDSC TV. A first half that was mostly controlled by Daytona State as they were able to outshoot Broward by a count of 6-1, but Broward certainly had their moments as well. Maybe those shot numbers, Ted, a little bit deceiving. A great tackle and slide made there by Sergio Molina. There was the best chance for Daytona State, one that sailed left, and from there the Falcons had chance after chance.
Yeah, that was a beautiful in-swinger from Fonseca. Picked his head up, tried to tactically slide it into the far side of the net. Unfortunately, just a miss by a few inches. So far, like you said, that's the best try we've seen thus far as we're ready to start the second half. Gorgeous. I was just down on the field, though. You're going to see that the wind's going to play a factor. It's kind of been blustery here and there. Certainly right now, the Falcons are going against the wind. They were with it before in the first half. So let's see how that kind of puts a monkey wrench in the engine for the Daytona State crew.
Certainly a very humid night here in Daytona Beach. 83 degrees. It's cooled down just a little bit, as Ted mentioned, that slight wind affecting things. And now Daytona State puts things in motion here. Great to have you with us as the first athletic event televised here fully in 2019-2020. As the ball flicked back inside the box, so opportunity there for Broward. They'll hammer it back. And you can see Broward very sneaky. They want to make the most of their chances here. They've come really quick on counters against Daytona State here tonight. And when you're on the road, sometimes those opportunities, Ted, you eventually have to cash them in.
Well, I mean, if you look at the statistics, right, it's been about a 60-40 split in favor of Daytona State's possession of the ball. But, all you need is that one slip up, that one really super good play, and they've already demonstrated the Seahawks have that capacity.
Head coach Munga Ekatebi certainly knows the challenge at hand, coming in here to Daytona and trying to leave with a victory. Merian tried to send it in, and the ball will be played back by Angel Lamardo, the freshman out of Miami, who has 3 goals to his credit this season. Nate Thompson going down for Daytona State, and a foul is called as Thompson gets up slowly. He's a freshman out of Ormond Beach.
You also got to wonder how much gas is in the tank, right? These scholar athletes, Daytona State, just in the beginning of the season, perhaps not in their prime best as far as, cardiovascularly speaking. Certainly the mentality, the skill sets, the communication, that's on point. But we'll see over the next 43 minutes who has the stamina and who has been doing their rows, their push-ups, their wheelbarrows, and everything else that goes into stamina drills.
Did not see as many substitutes as I thought in that first half. Both coaches letting their players play. Didn't see that first sub until about the 35-minute mark. See right there, John Nollis going down for the Falcons. And they'll place it down for Broward.
Excellent call by the official. Didn't let him get away with that because of a sneaky quick start.
Across the end line that time, Seahawks will give it back to Daytona State. There's Igor Teles Martins out of Sao Paulo, Brazil.
Another thing, I noticed the ball was still rolling just a bit. It's got to be stationary. We were playing for the county title in Long Island, New York, when I was a coach up there, Drew. We lost on a bad call just like that.
Near side now, John Davalos. Davalos going down trying to draw contact. And I believe he did just that. Broward now will have a set piece in a pretty good spot.
And he's bringing out the card.
So first discipline we've seen tonight, and that's going to be Angel Lamardo, I believe, booked for Daytona State.
Yeah, Lamardo could have checked up, and he didn't.
No, keep in mind, that is Nate Thompson, so let me correct myself there. Nate Thompson, number 12, issued the yellow. And Lamardo in the area, but not the one who committed the foul.
Hey, don't move up. Don't move up, Blue. You got your line there. Stay there. Stay there. Hang on, guys. Hang on. Hang on.
So Broward trying to put this one into a dangerous spot. Daytona State on guard.
Luckily for Daytona State, a weak attempt there.
Nollis puts this one in range. Oh, that's Gorsicherick coming up to take it away.
Just a bit too much. There he is, back again.
Cat-like quickness. It's amazing how much ground he was able to cover on that last sequence.
45-yard sprint. Good job, Nollis. Looks like he got clipped in the back of the heel there.
Benny Hartzell, number 22, in for the Falcons. Benny's another freshman, nearby Seabreeze High School. So Benny starts the second half for the Falcons, and now Lamardo and Daytona State starting to connect the dots, but Martin wasn't looking that time, and that killed the rally.
Turned his back to the ball. Never do that. Never do that.
Broward now pushing forward, trying to get numbers ahead. Medina.
Falcons getting numbers back.
Shot taken from distance, and that sails over everybody as that was Davalos, the sophomore out of Columbia, coming up to give it a ride.
Not sure what Grant was doing right there on the top of the 18-yard box along the circle. Just watched that ball go across. Thought that Senor should come back for it. No. Should have gone forward with that ball. If you're feeling gassed, tell the coach.
Anthony O'Day sliding it left. Broward with another chance, avoiding the end line, trying to get a good service in, top of the 18. Left-footed shot once more over the crossbar.
That easily could have been much more dangerous than what we just saw. Both teams not really finding their marks in that 18-yard box. We might have a stoppage in play here with a Falcon down. That is number 4, Molina. As my colleague Drew Felios mentioned, a returning starter. And here you're going to see that bit of a clip.
Ouch.
Certainly wasn't the Seahawks player that was at fault there.
The look on his face when he got up kind of looked like you whenever I showed up tonight here at the park.
Come on,
straining
now.
Just a little bit.
Come on, man.
Calisthenics getting the best of you.
I don't think my waist size has anything to do with calisthenics right now, Drew. I need help in that department.
Broward trying to get another opportunity here. And look like, tiptoeing that end line. Ball will belong to Daytona State. Broward, tell you what, they are fearless on some of those attacks. A little too close for Martins that time, though.
That was a great display of skill there along the end line. Woof. just tight-roping it down there toward the goal. Very dangerous. An offensive threat for sure, but referee had a good eye on it.
Santiago Esparza to put this one in the air for the Falcons. Royce Ludi, number 3, is checked into the game for Daytona State. Ludi out of Wesley Chapel. He's a sophomore. Wiregrass Ranch High School represented. And let's see here. Whistle there, and I think a little talking to for Molina, who was chirping a little bit that time. Settle things down here. Award the ball to the Falcons. Big week for Daytona State soccer on the men's and the women's side. Big women's match we've got for you tomorrow night. Then back here with Eastern Florida on deck on Friday. Daytona State, good thing working here. Molina involved. And now Fabian Grant with the shot. Oh, fisted out. Rebound is live. And the Falcons able to get a foot on it, but no damage done. And that was Gorsicheric again defending.
That was synonymous with Fonseca's play in the first half. That was almost as good a chance. Some excellent skill being shown there. Dribbling, cutting, turning it back, and then ripping one. Goalie did a great job. Here's the replay.
That was a great touch right there by Signor. And then Fabian Grant. Weaving between defenders that time to get a left-footed shot off. And Gorsicheric on guard. Nicely done. Here's the corner now. Falcons put this one right in the middle of the box. Again, bodies fly all over with Molina coming out of there with it.
Looked like Molina just kind of gave that one away. Looking to the referee, though, for a deflection. Not going to happen.
Expect to have most Daytona State players get a chance to play tonight, looking at their box scores from previous games. Everybody has had a chance to check in. Interesting to see how Coach Sasnet works his rotation here tonight, though, in a tight ball game. Molina putting it down in motion, and Gorsicheric again taking care of it for Broward.
And I'm sure our fans out there in TV land could see that ball hang. The reason why it hung up there like that just now was because you could see those flags next shot we get. You'll see those flags blowing from the north at a pretty good pace.
Daytona State last played on Sunday. It was an 8-0 win over the Bahamas.
That surprised the heck out of me, Drew. 8-0, and the College of Bahamas is no team to think is an easy win. Surprising what happened there, and based on everything they've been through, both physically and mentally, that country.
Can you imagine? Incredible. Blvd and now Daytona State. This is the type of possession right here that we're seeing that I think we should have seen more of in the first half, as the game has sort of settled down here in half number 2. I think we're seeing a lot better quality soccer than what we saw in the first half.
No, they're certainly putting the chains of passes together. Looking really good right now. And as you get a little bit more tired, you're not marking as far as defensive players, trying to get right into their socks or their shoes. You're laying off a little bit.
Jane with a long throw in. Falcons will immediately go to work. And again, we'll have a corner kick for Daytona State.
Right now we're looking at 8 shots from Daytona State to 2 from the Seahawks. Ekatebe's unit not looking as good offensively, but again, it only takes that one time. In soccer, you could have a 70-30 split of possession, and then that other team comes down that's only possessed the ball 30%, and boom, game over. Got to guard against that.
55th minute now. Angel Lamardo, 3 goals to his credit. Puts it in range. Header set up. Oh, that was nicely done. John Nollis got airborne that time and just missed putting it on frame.
He got some springs on that one, grew some wings. Here's the replay again. Look at beautiful angle from our crew. I think Nollis was just backing up slightly rather than going forward, but still a great attempt.
So on those set pieces, you can be 6'5" like Muhammad Awad of Broward, or you can just out-jump everybody like John Nollis just did.
There's a giveaway there.
Now it's Grant. Falcons winning possession again. Shadell Senior and Daytona State spreading things out here.
I tell you, Grant is sturdy player in the middle there.
Falcons very methodically working it down the pitch. This is Ludi. Ball got away from him. Broward still trying to fight for it there across that midfield line, and the Seahawks will have it there.
Ludi tried to play the man much more than the ball there and forgot the ball. Ended up in disarray. Seahawk ball. Nobody weak side there. Nice idea. Part of it, though, is Eketebe's lineup right now. He's playing a 4-4-2. Only 2 men up front. And basically you have nobody on that right side, on that weak side in that particular play. So you're going to have to start jamming other folks coming from the wings in the box. Daytona State might play this quickly to capitalize on that out-of-bounds play. Whoop. No siree, says the referee.
Well, Daytona State owning possession so far in this second half. They're really starting to take control of this game. See if they can register a goal here. Franco Perez checks in for Daytona State. He is number 11. Seeing his first action. Sophomore from right here in Daytona Beach.
Now, there was a great shot right there of Grant being bodied and bullied. Good, sturdy player, but the defensive men certainly had his way. And the referee not calling that, being right in the vicinity, I am very surprised.
Nice battle there. Looked like maybe a high elbow that time. We'll let it go. And a little bit of a hold from Broward. And the official right there on top of it. This could be a yellow card. It will be. Santiago Amidian is into the books.
And you saw why the referee called that, because he kicked him from behind. You just can't go around doing that. And he's gotten away with a lot of that, and that's why his coach is calling him back off the pitch.
Well, if he did get away with it, tell you what, I did not see it. Let's take one more look, Ted. Where did that kick happen?
You're going to see it. Grabbed his shirt. Sorry, I was looking low. He grabbed his shirt. Can't do that. That's right there. Immediate foul anytime you grab any clothing. The referee's going to throw the laundry. Whoop, not here. The plastic I meant. That would only be in the NFL.
Falcons now looking for that right opportunity. Fabian Grant trying to get through a couple defenders that time. And now they'll share it. This is Hartzell touching for Daytona State. Again, more grabbing, more clutching. They get away with it that time. And Ortiz turns to attack. Now it's Martins. Right side for Broward. He'll bear down, and it'll be tapped out by the Falcons.
Yeah, we saw that right in front of us, that ticky-tack foul. That's a definite foul call. You said it before, though, Drew. They are getting away with a lot of, fouling here. Go ahead.
Big week here at Daytona State. 7 o'clock tomorrow night. We invite you to join us as the women's team takes on Polk State. Cannot wait for that one. Then it's Friday night, 7 o'clock, Eastern Florida. Needs no introduction. That rivalry as hot as it has ever been. And then volleyball, as we're back here next week. And cannot wait to to get on the volleyball court. Aaron Campbell will join me in the booth for that. Volleyball for Daytona State. Looking forward to that. Great talent always for the Falcons. And another team that continues to put out a good product year after year.
Obviously, Drew Felios, my colleague, showing his broadcasting chops, being able to not only do soccer, basketball, baseball, I mean, you name it, Drew.
Absolutely love it.
And now volleyball, right?
This time of year.
Yeah.
This time of year, I'll tell you what, nothing like the fall. So many great things going on campus. Now right side, this is Ortiz. Ortiz tried to service one in. It'll be headed out immediately by Daytona State. Talk about, too, this great sport of soccer and how it is exploding across the country on the professional ranks and then here in the collegiate level as well.
I can remember when it was the New York Cosmos back in the 70s that we used to watch with Pele and George Canalia. And unfortunately, that league died, but I'm so glad to see a resurgence because the kids have never lost it from the 70s that were playing way back then in middle school and high school and elementary.
Taken care of by Esparza. Daytona State with Perez on that far side, winning possession. Quickly, Broward retreating, and the defense recovering well.
Exactly. Defense recovering well, and you saw that there was only 2 DSC players up. They're feeling it right now. They're feeling a little tough. I think everybody is. Nice switch of play there. That was controlled by Wiggin. Pushed out by Limardo. Giveaway there. Going to corral that. Oh, sloppy.
Here's a turn by Saints Racines. He'll center it in. And Esparza's got to come up. He reacted well that time. Got a good jump on it to douse the flame.
Lodi, you got to clean that up. Easy play there. Don't get ahead of yourself.
Royce Ludi. Daytona State. Inside of 30 minutes now. Left to go in this contest. Ortiz. He has been a factor for Broward.
Some real quickness there by Ortiz. And a miscommunication. Ball pushed out.
Wabudike that time hammering it out. I think he didn't think he was as open as he was. Probably should have just taken a little air out of it, sent it back to his keeper.
And there, in lies when you start feeling a little bit tired. The communication, running down to the 50-50 balls, it starts to go, but primarily the communication. I can't explain exactly why that is because that's the most necessary thing when you are feeling tired, to say, hey, turn, man on, through ball.
Falcons have outshot Broward tonight 9-3. 3 goals, 3 shots rather, here in half number 2. This one is through. Flag will stay down and we'll play it. Broward with the cross. Eventually knocked down by Daytona State in that back line. Tell you what, Broward's had some quality chances here over the past few minutes, haven't they?
They're looking good. We got a player down, though.
And keep in mind, very hot and humid here. Does not believe to look like a cramp here. This looks like maybe he came down a little bit wrong here. Hopefully it is a cramp, though. And that is Prince Wabudike. He scored 2 goals this year for Daytona State. Looks like he's okay.
Oh, that's good.
Esparza, the captain, comes over, tells his teammate, come on. Still got lots of soccer to be played. Let's do this.
The referee did stop the clock on that. Restart. 27 minutes. Not a restart yet.
Big line change about to come in for Daytona State. Coach Sasnet will empty his bench here in the next few moments. Now it's Wiggin. Wiggin tried to pass it. This will be called as Wabudike was on the back that time.
Wabudike just giving the referee a chance to blow the whistle there. That was not an inflammatory foul, but right in your face.
Ortiz with the service. Franco Perez could not win it. And now the Seahawks surveying things. Over the top they go with it. Ortiz, a defender right on him. Tries to create a little space. Tried to cross it in. It was deflected. Broward, though, trying to get another chance. Daytona State looks a little bit winded here at the moment. And Broward, I think, senses it as they start to step on the gas pedal.
Yeah, you said it. Winded and a bit disorganized. And there was a giveaway by the Seahawks to alleviate the pressure that they were putting on.
And just in time, here comes that big line change. D'Angelo Mullings, number 15. Number 20, Santiago Fonseca. 25, Juan Esteban Carmona. And number 12, Nate Thompson.
That's surely a superhero X-Men change right there, because they need that extra fuel in the tank, because the Falcons are looking a little bit winded there.
How about the Avengers? Go with them.
Okay, I was trying to get to that, Drew.
Okay.
I mean, X-Men, Avengers, I mean, well, same story at the end.
That great music.
Same story.
I can hear it in my head right now.
Esparza
lets it go. We're in the 65th minute here at Daytona State College, and still scoreless.
How about Uwad in the back, though? Has he been a staple ingredient for that defensive line? He is a premier player. I'm guarantee he's going to Division I school come matriculation time.
Grant tried to turn it around. And now it's Senor, after winning it with some new life. Tries to go down the pitch. Juan Esteban Carmona trying to make a play here, deflect it off a Seahawk for a corner. Could not do that, and we'll have a goal kick. Tell you what, we saw some great features at halftime. Entertaining, Coach Sasnet, and also sort of a tour around campus, all the great programs they've got here at Daytona State. I mean, just the opportunity on this campus is absolutely booming, Ted.
I mean, never mind that we have a great broadcast crew here doing a great job with the game with our various replays and camera angles. And certainly many programs to match that. You know, you probably saw the beverage science program. How about that? That's a new one.
One of my favorites.
They're looking right now at an opticians program to be delivered. That's going to happen perhaps and most likely in 2020. They've also gotten an agreement with the University of Florida. Does very few agreements with two-year colleges here in Florida and for their agricultural college. So there's a lot of great things happening. They're going to have dormitories here soon for about 200 students, both scholar athletes and folks from afar that want to stay here.
That is tremendous. Great news. Just going to add to the student life here on campus, isn't it?
Oh, yeah. It's going to provide a great mix. And, you know, we all know that scholar athletes and students who stay on campus are much more apt to complete and graduate and add to those successful statistics that we like to see.
There's your score. Right now, still waiting for our first goal, and our clock appears to have frozen up here at Daytona State Soccer Complex. That is one of the most beautiful clock and video boards you will see in all of collegiate sports. Well, right now, we're trying to get it reset. Also got to say, Ted, congratulations on the recent promotion amongst the faculty here.
Come on now.
Had to go there.
Come on now. Just feel lucky being a part of this great team here at Daytona State, the whole family. And I have to watch myself sometimes, Drew. You know, I try to call it impartially.
That's
for
okay.
Both teams.
That's okay around here. I'm certainly guilty of that. Ball skates out.
But we both know, Drew, that it's kind of interesting when you think about it. We have all these stats for Daytona State. It's not that we want to leverage Daytona State's successes.
Well, we definitely want to leverage homecoming. Celebration and games October 10th through the 12th. A tailgate party at noon to 3 p.m. And then special games on Saturday the 12th, 2 and 4 p.m. here at the soccer complex. A weekend to remember, homecoming here at Daytona State. Do not miss it.
Right, you need to come. You're going to have a good time. And, we were talking about just now Daytona State. Yeah, they have a number of stats, right? They're ranked in the nation right now, 11th. But, truth be told, Coach Agatebi only has one game behind him. That's all that the Seahawks have. So very hard to share a bunch of statistics, wins and losses, goals for, against, assists, and so on, when you don't have that.
This ball put into the box, dangerous spot. Gorsacharic able to come up and take it right out of the air. He has been in some really dangerous positions tonight and has been able to prevail each time.
I like this goalie, though. Gorsacharic, he's been playing those angles rather well. And there's a steal right there in the middle of the field. Lights are coming on full beam as darkness approaches here. I was never much of a night game player, Drew. Oh, there's a dangerous ball.
You were not much of a day game player either.
No, that's what I heard, yeah. Drew, comedy might be a good thing for you as well, besides doing all these sports with your broadcasting chops.
Hey, man, it's all good. Tonight,
man, that one whooped me. I'm done.
Feeling it.
Okay, taking the headset off.
You were a great coach, though. You were talking about back in the day how you were a coach. I'll tell you what, coaching these young men, having the opportunity to do just that. The job that Coach Sasnet is doing, how passionate he is, Ted.
Oh, yeah.
It's really, really fun to watch. Just talking to him and the excitement that he had earlier today was really, really cool. Here's a shot on goal for Broward. Oh, great save made by Esparza as Daytona State keeps it clean here in the 70th minute.
Wow, just when we were falling asleep a little bit here, right? Play occurring much more in the middle, and boom. Great save by Esparza. Wow. Going to his left to save that. That was excellent. Hopefully we can cue that up from the replay booth.
Falcons will still defend here. Seahawks with a long possession. Now attack from that left side. Daytona State scrambling along that back line here at the moment. And Broward has owned the pace of play here over the past 5 to 10 minutes. Here's another shot. Oh, another great save by Esparza. Still alive, though, in the box. And the Falcons will get out of danger once again.
Okay, so we talked about the most dangerous chances on the Daytona State side. Well, that was much more than we've seen in any part of the game. Definitely right there. Those two shots. Incredible saves by Esparza, keeping Daytona State 0-0.
Broward will once again go over the top. Flag stays down. Look out. One-on-one opportunity is buried, and the Seahawks are on the board.
From this angle, I thought he was offsides.
Scored by Igor Teles Martins, the sophomore from Brazil. And just like that, the Seahawks have the lead here in Daytona.
How about that level of being comfy right in the 6-yard box by the offender? Incredible skill level being displayed there under pressure.
Ball came back to him. The one-on-one ability to shake free. He had Colleen Jean right there and showed the composure to bury it far post.
As we say, in the Greek language, in the rama, which is right up there in the corner. Whew. Incredible. On that angle, we didn't get a chance to see how far ahead he was from the defensive line. Again, I thought it was an offsides call that the linesman missed. Yep. Right now you have Nate Thompson. He's given the linesman an earful, but it's done.
Let's take one more look. See if we can see where that pass was made. Here it is. Great job by our crew, and yeah, he looks like he was onside. I think a good call by our officials.
Yeah, it looked like it was Gene, right? Number 13, that unfortunately was keeping him onside. Not Gene's fault. I mean, he was trying to defend. But good job, replay booth. Excellent from our WDSC broadcast crew.
So still plenty of time here, just under 18 minutes to play. And let's see Daytona State now with their first real adversity they have faced here in this young season. Let's see how the Falcons respond. Nutmeg there, nicely done by Esteban Carmona. And now Nate Thompson tries to get organized for Daytona State. Ball serviced in. There's that goalie again, Gorsuch Arch.
Yeah, nobody was really there in the middle. They were flared out. One was near post, one was far post for a DSC offensive line there, but nobody in the middle.
Juan Esteban Carmona.
And now you see a sense of urgency coming from the Falcons, applying a lot of pressure. Oof.
Felt though there was that moment though, Ted, about 5 to 10 minutes where Daytona State kind of hit a lull there. Even after the line change came in, they just sort of went into a bit of a funk there in that time.
Looked a little lackadaisical as far as, the momentum that they had carried forward from the first half. And just like you said, that 10-minute lull.
Coach Sasnett said if we do not win this game tonight, it will be my fault. Oh, one more time, getting past the goalie and sticking it in. Broward has taken a 2-0 lead as it breaks down, and Saints Racines able to add to the lead for Broward.
All right, the coach has got to control this. The goalie is, Esparza, just screaming at Molina. And yeah, it was a communication breakdown. I was talking to Coach Sasnett just about that, about communication and how back in the day when I was playing, what we used to do as a team. And obviously you have, there's a breakdown. Unfortunate.
Oh, just miscommunication. He stayed with it. And Juan Pedro Sainz Racines, the freshman out of Uruguay, makes everybody pay.
Yeah, that was a gift. Absolute gift. And now a ticky-tack foul, and you're going to get a card.
Yellow card to Chandel Senior.
And NJCAA rules, if he gets a yellow card in the next game, then he will be suspended for the third one. I mean, that was just senseless. You don't want to jeopardize your ability to play. Well, you only got so many games as a college player, right?
I think that time Ted a clear frustration foul.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, the mood has certainly changed here at Daytona State Soccer Complex. Falcons were having the better of the run of play, especially in the first half, and then for about the first part of this second half, and then just shows you how in this game, one mistake can really put you behind the 8 ball. Daytona State now with a mountain to climb.
Oof, yeah.
Here the rest of the way. And Esparza comes over, tries to get a hand on it. It'll be a corner kick for Broward. You know that old saying, when it rains, it pours.
Oh, yeah. And as good as Esparza has been playing, relatively easy cleanup with that loose change and didn't bring it in.
Coach Sasnett also, right now, obviously in disbelief, but still young season. Team's going to have moments like this. It's how they deal with the adversity that is going to matter the most.
And they will get another crack at this team, whether it be in conference play or their schedule down the line. Speaking of their schedule down the line,
this in swing by Ortiz, and now Broward trying to flick this one on. Falcons able to bunch things up that time, and now trying to attack the other way as Thompson couldn't control. He had it tapped out. Daytona State now will try and get all of their wheels in motion. Still plenty of time on the clock for 2 goals, and 2 goals can be a very dangerous score in the sport of soccer. It can both be made up quickly. A goal cuts the lead for Broward in half.
I'm not sure why that clock out in the field isn't running. But there it goes. They do get to play each other again on October 4th, but that'll be down in Pembroke Pines. And I'm sure that if DSC does not equalize this game, they will want revenge. But, you know, certainly they're going to learn some things from being tested, as we were talking about in the beginning of this broadcast, Drew. And I'm sure Coach Saznet and the team will make their adjustments accordingly.
Nollis coming in, Perez exiting for the Falcons. Well, just a goal here would be huge for Daytona State, just to play forward to next week. But right now, the officials all of a sudden starting to call just about everything.
You know, to have 30-plus goals, you know, in a series of 5 games, and to go scoreless here against one of your nemesis teams, that's got to be a gut check for the team and for Coach Saznet.
This game can certainly be a cruel one, can it?
As you were mentioning before, you know, as I was a coach, coached the game, refereed the game, you know, and played a few years of semi-pro ball. These are the games that you remember.
Ortiz, left-footed, sent out. We'll do it again.
Yeah, do a replay. These are the games you remember because, you know, hopefully you draw something from them. You extract some sort of lesson from them because, you know, these teams were evenly matched up until that lull that you had mentioned.
Faraz into the box. Esparza fisted out. Right back to Faraz. He'll put some air under it this time. Airborne, ball loose in the box. Esparza comes over to take care of it for Daytona State. That's about playing that full 90 minutes. The championship teams are the teams that do that do not lose that concentration. It's going to happen in moments. You just want those moments to be really, really small windows.
Exactly. You know, I didn't want to say too much about Ekatebe's team, you know, the Seahawks, based on, you know, where I saw the international players from. But, I mean, when you're recruiting from afar, you know, you're not taking somebody in from Jamaica or Uruguay or Colombia because they might be a mediocre average soccer player.
See the time on the clock, just under 12 minutes to play now, and a 2-0 lead for Broward. Goals by Martins and Juan Pedro Sainz Racines, the freshman. Falcons trying to get one of their own. They'll work now, top of the box. Daytona State. If they can just get a shot on goal here, that'd be awesome. Esteban Carmona will circle it back. Nate Thompson now trying to send it way wide. That was a really tough pass to complete. Molina and Esparza now. Nate Thompson. On Esteban Carmona. Slide there, and now Gabriel Ortiz. Ortiz beats the defender to the spot. Now zeroing in, tries to cross it. Falcons a little bit slow to the ball here at the moment. Shot set up, and another great save by Esparza, who has kept Daytona State in it.
Defense was kind of standing around there and watching. Carmona did a leapfrog right here in front of us as that ball went back. Here's a replay. You got Faraz making a nice shot there, deflection. Esparza is frustrated. Can't say I blame him when you've had very few goals scored against you in the last 5 games. And here you're 2 down with less than 10 minutes to play.
Ortiz once more. Daytona State had conceded only 3 times coming into tonight, and they've conceded twice here just in this match. And, you know, this is exactly what Coach Sasnet was concerned about before this match. The fact that his team, Ted, had not been in a 15-round slugfest like this.
Right. No.
Could they go into the later rounds in a scoreless game and make the right plays and decisions late? And this is the first real test, and right now it has been tough for the Falcons to handle.
Well, it'll be interesting to see how Eketebe's team for the Seahawks is now ranked, being they beat, an 11th ranked team in the nation. So you're going to see some switches across the board for these 2 teams.
Juan Esteban Carmona.
Great skill, speed. Just an awesome player, solid.
Thompson. Blow the whistle. Falcons will have it now. Nate Thompson a little shaken up, walking a little bit gingerly there.
Yeah,
caught in part of the turf that time. Shoe may have come off just a bit.
Yeah, he got stripped from behind. That's why the foul was called. And this is the kind of stuff that I wish referees would really pay attention to, are those ticky-tack fouls that will make a player lose the ball because he's being shoved, kicked, pinched from behind.
Not much purpose there on the set piece.
Wow. And Carmona knows he's got better skill than that. Took that with the left foot. He meant to outswing that. Just did not happen. You've seen real elements here of frustration and sloppy play now. But good lessons to learn for the Falcons to go forward. As mentioned before, they do get a chance to meet this team again in Pembroke Pines down south. And you'll see improvement certainly by both squads.
Another substitute coming in here for Daytona State. And you're going to see number 15 exit, D'Angelo Mullings. And that is number 23, Will Crotty, the freshman out of Ormond Beach. Another Seabreeze High School product. Tell you what, Seabreeze well represented here at Daytona State. You got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 players out of Seabreeze High suiting up here for the Falcons. The local flavor, abundant. Here's Broward now attacking once more. Ooh. And the goal just wide of that far post.
Way too many chances now. 2-0 down. Certainly breaking down in the defense there. Esparza came out well to at least break down the angle.
Do you think, Ted, because we saw this game being played at such a furious pace in the first half from Daytona State in these humid conditions, that now late in the 80th, 85th minute, you can obviously see the effects and just not as much gas in the engine for the home team?
Yeah, I mean, certainly that could be a contributing factor, as I was mentioned before about stamina. I know, Coach Sasnet is, one of those who makes sure that the students, his scholar athletes, are, doing all their calisthenics, are certainly in great shape. I would say for both teams, but when you have this type of humidity and these type of conditions, it certainly factors into, how much gas there is in the tank. But you mentioned it before, Drew. I mean, you had 4 players come on for Daytona State, and you thought that was going to be a boost to the passing and offense for Daytona State, and it just kind of ended up being a lull, as if they said to each other, "Oh, we don't always play together, in this particular design or mix." So that that could have been a factor as well. That they're through the number of games that are coming up and more conference games, especially, Coach Sasnet is going to shore things up.
Into the box, Falcons at the doorstep, trying to stick it in, and Daytona State finally on the board here.
Go.
That's Colleen Jean.
Hey.
The freshman.
It's not over till it's over, Drew. Good job coming back there with the loose ball. A little bit of Plinko in front. I know replay is going to come on in just a moment. Colleen Jean, way to go.
The right back, the best story on the Falcons team, epitomizing Daytona State soccer, just resilient here on this effort. And watch the rebound coming off here. Went off the post, and he's right there to stick it in.
Great job. Great job being aware. Not sure what the goalie, Grzorsik, was complaining about, but now you got a 2-1 contest with 5 left. Obviously, the clock right now being your enemy if you're a Falcon.
Broward trying to come right back, and again, still plenty of time. The lead for Broward cut in half. We're under 5 minutes, and all of a sudden, lots of juice in the legs for the Daytona State Falcons.
I hear some mouthing going off to the referee. Referee's letting it go based on the Seahawk response to that foul. Good job switching field there for the Falcons. Pushing it forward. Not a lot of attempts left. And pushing out far to the wing.
Sent into the box. I mentioned how that 2-0 score is the most dangerous score in soccer. Just like that, Daytona State back in this one. Prince Wabuduke.
Great job by Esparza getting it out to Carmona on the left wing. Great ball there.
Ball collision there. Players on top of each other. Mohamed Awad. That time for Broward.
Awad getting that big body in there. Taking down Nate. Was that Nate Thompson with the throw in right here? We'll see. Nope. That is Wabudike. I'm going to say that name wrong all night long, aren't I, Drew?
Juan Esteban Carmona. Oh, another slide. How about that? And that was your guy.
That was
Prince
Wabudike. Right.
Prince Wabudike making sure we say his name correctly. 2
Right.
goals on the season for Prince. Krishan Wiggin tosses it in. And now Broward going to do whatever they can to make that clock roll here. Stay on the ground a little bit longer, wince a little bit longer, and try and let that clock run.
Oh, that's going to be, he might give him a yellow for throwing. Nate Thompson might get a yellow. Okay, he's trying to plead his case with the ref. He was just trying to toss the ball. It certainly wasn't a hard throw. And right now, Faraz with the ball, the clock certainly in the Seahawks' favor.
Well, I think Daytona State just a little frustrated. They thought that Broward was trying to stall clearly there.
But good to the ref's effort to stop the clock there. And now we got to restart in time.
Find the ball, guys. Find the ball.
Take it into the corner. And it will belong to Broward. Coming up on 2 minutes to play. 2 minutes, Daytona State trying to avoid their first setback of 2019. They've played so well through 5 games, outscoring the opposition 31-3. But tonight, a much different story against one of their arch rivals. Again, the ball will skate away, and you hear the players saying, get the ball, get the ball. Time is running.
Exactly.
Falcons trying to operate quickly here. Just a minute to play. And Ted, what can Daytona State do to win it back here? What are they thinking? How can they keep their hopes alive here to possibly send this to extra soccer?
Basically, you need a foul call there in the upper third of the offensive box. A big kick here by Esparza, which it is.
Falcons, if they can just win possession here. Getting up in the air. And again, Broward will just send it down to the other side.
And he's going to see him play possession here for the next 20 seconds.
Ball goes out, Martins. In just 20 seconds, I don't even think Daytona State's going to get it back on the Broward side. Well, a valiant effort for Daytona State. They fought until the very end and did get one goal, but it does not appear like it is going to be enough. The final 10 seconds, and that's going to do it. Broward Seahawks come to Daytona State tonight and get a huge victory. 2-1 the final over the Falcons of Daytona State. Daytona State had their chances in the first half and then played very well coming out of the locker room. They had that lull at about the 60-minute mark to 75-minute mark. They finally woke up, eventually got a goal by Colleen Jean, but Ted just falling short tonight by a goal.
Yeah, I'm sure they're disappointed, but at least they did come back. They showed, obviously, some resilience. They're going to have to do that again. You're not going to stay on top all the time. Coming back in those last 5 minutes to get a goal, I would take that as a positive. Lesson learned. Go forward.
Absolutely. And a big contest with Eastern Florida lurking on Friday night. Daytona State will have to recover quickly before that one. Here's Fabian Grant, a great individual effort he was able to put forth, but Gorsachark was outstanding in goal for Broward. And then getting airborne, John Nollis definitely played well for Daytona State, and that back line shored themselves up as well. Juan Esteban Carmona had some pretty nice chances.
Oh, yeah. And I got to say, the keeper for the Seahawks, he made things look really easy with the way he cut down angles. And here again, you see that upper right-hand corner shot. Beautiful. There, unfortunately, is a miscommunication. Number 7, Racine's putting it in the back of the net. That was a tough one. That was a backbreaker, 2-0. That miscommunication is probably the one that cost them the game there. Again, the more important chances going for the Seahawks, an abundance of them. And here is the goal by Jean. Right place, right time. A little bit of Plinko in the box.
Yeah, tremendous by Colleen Jean. And all of a sudden, Daytona State had new life. But time just ran out. And the final score, 2-1, as Daytona State comes up short to the Broward Seahawks. We invite you to follow us on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook at DSC Falcon Sports. That's at DSC Falcon Sports throughout this 2019-2020 academic year. This is just the start. Look at the slate here on WDSC TV coming up just in the next week. Women's soccer tomorrow night right here, 7 p.m. Please join us then. And then on Friday night, Eastern Florida comes to town here at Daytona State College. So the Falcons come up a little short tonight, but a huge season ahead, and it should be exciting from here at Daytona State College. For Ted Sofianos and our fabulous crew at Daytona State College and WDSC TV, I'm Drew Felios. We will see you tomorrow night. Have a great week, and go Falcons!